And now, continuation of the meeting with Karine Mauris, who's the artistic director of the 35th Alliance Francaise French Film Festival. And where we left off, Karine, we were talking about the film The Taste of Things, which was the Oscars submission by France to the Academy Awards this year.
Yes, we were. Yes, it's a beautiful movie, a romantic love story, and for I saw also this movie in Cannes, and it's the director Tuan An Ong just received the Best Director prize of Cannes. So when you are the best director, that means you know how it's all about your setting. It's all about the way you film, the capacity you've got to create large plan and then this movie is so incredible what is done. How it succeed to put the food, the recipes, the way they were cooking together. How it's incredible how he has filmed that. And it's a story. It's a when we speak just before I said it was a costume movie, a period movie, and it's true. The story is in 1885. And it's just a romance between Juliette Binoche, we play Eugénie, and she's a very renowned cook, and she has also a beautiful love story with Dodine, who is played by Benoît Magimel. And I know that you love the story between the story and that maybe you know that Juliette Binoche and Benoît Magimel were together just 20 years ago, and they have a beautiful romance, and now they are good friends. It's the first time they play again together, so you can see there are kind of special thing between them. Is that we can imagine they know each other for a long time. So it's not only culinary magical, but also it's a beautiful romantic story.
Sure. Okay. Now, what would a French film festival be without Catherine Deneuve and having her play the president's wife, Bernadette Chirac, which I've seen is such a good film.
It's such a good film. I'm totally agree. I think it's a very good surprise. It's a debut movie, so I was the Queen Catherine decided that for maybe one of her last movies, she was working with a young director. But what I read and what I knew about the movie, that when she recited the script, she really fell in love and was laughing aloud, and she totally said, "Okay, it's me, Bernadette, it's me." And it's kind of it's a very funny movie with a lot of fantasy, and when you are a first lady, you speak about fashion too. So it's very interesting to see how the character of Catherine Deneuve made the incredible evolution in the movie, not only on the what she's on the look, but also on the capacity to react and take a destiny in her own hands. And also we can see that because it's a kind of true story, because Bernadette, it's at the time when Jacques Chirac was has been a president between 92 and 2004, and we see from the beginning to this moment, and we see our character has changed, and it's I love to say it's a kind of a legacy blonde, a French version with Catherine Deneuve, and it's and with Karl Lagerfeld inside too.
Okay,
but it's very fun.
It is very enjoyable, and I like the way Catherine sort of obviously loves the story and really gets into it. Now, because it's the 35th anniversary of the French Film Festival in Australia, you're screening The Intouchables, which of course is such a good film.
Oh, it's because it was a birthday, we wanted to create the anniversary, sorry, not the birthday, anniversary of the festival. We wanted to create something special, and we wanted also to engage our audience. And as you know, we've got a fantastic audience in Australia because thanks to it, we are the biggest festival of overseas of French Film Festival. And we said, okay, why don't we ask them what is for them the best movies they have seen the last 35 years. They saw the last, and the winner was Intouchable. And it's a I love the directors, the two directors, Nakash and Toledano. It's a duet of directors who are able to speak to make funny, very funny movies, but also with a lot of interrogation. With also they know how to speak about the humanity. They create really some movie we are touching, and this one Untouchable. It's incredible duet of actor, and we have Omar Sy inside. And maybe you don't know that, but this movie was is the biggest success ever. French movie. It's more than 11 million of people we saw it on theater. So it's really a movie that yes, and bigger than Amélie Poulain, by the way. I was very surprised. I was thinking,
yeah, I thought Emily was yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking that the people wanted to vote for Amélie, but because and they said Intouchable, and I think it's a perfect movie. In our festival, it works very well because the two values I wanted to share on this festival was diversity and humanity, and it's full of humanity, this one. And it's also serendipity. It was also a good choice because we've got another movie, the last movie of the duet of the two directors, and it's a very good comedy too. And the last movie is called A Difficult Year, and it will be also in the festival. So it's a good bridge. You can see one of the most famous and the new one who works very well with a big hit also in France. And it's always the same thing. It's also a good comedy, but also we speak about very and I can say not funny moment, is speaking about the climate change, etc., how to fight. And in the middle of these people who fight, there's these two idiots or two beautiful losers who try to win money with the situation. So it's very fun. It's also a rom-com, and I'm very proud to have this movie in the same times.
Oh, it sounds great. Looking forward to seeing it. Now, again, what would a French film festival be without Isabelle Huppert? And I noticed she's in two films in the festival, I think, Sitting Duck and Sydney in Japan.
Yes, Isabelle, I think since I arrived, I always have a movie with Isabelle. And Sitting Duck, it's a true story. And it's the same director that made 3 years ago the Gold Mother. And Isabelle was in the sorry, I've got no battery on my telephone.
Oh, we're having fun with technology today.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I have to change the way of my camera. It's worse and worse. So sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Keep going. You're good.
Yeah. It's a direct thing. So yes, we were speaking about Isabelle Huppert, and she's absolutely fantastic. Everybody knows Isabelle Huppert. She's the top 10 of the best actress of the world. And on this Sitting Duck, so this movie made by Jean-Paul Salomon, she plays a role of the real life. It's a real life of Maureen Kearney. You remember Maureen Kearney?
Oh yes.
Do you know her?
Yep, I've heard of her.
She's a trade unionist, and she fights against the power of nuclear industry.
Yeah,
and it's a tough movie, but also full of humanity, and the evolution of the character is fantastic in the movie. What I really love on this festival, I've got amazing comedy, very fun, like Iris and the Man and A Nature of Love or The King of the Castle. I love this movie. Very fun, and also movie strong and powerful, like All Your Face, and also movie like The Sitting Duck which is make you thinking, and how you will react in front of this. Who is right? Who is wrong? I love that, and it's a great movie, Sitting Duck. And you know what? Serendipity, on the 5th of March, Maureen Kearney is in Australia.
Ah.
And she will be there the 6th in Sydney just for a few days. She's
Ah.
coming 4 or 5 days because she's going to New Zealand, and she just take a stop because she saw that we presented the Sitting Duck. Going to tell a story. It is fantastic. No, 6th of March.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
activity, because we didn't announce it. It's just arrived today.
How fortuitous is that? That's fantastic. And Isabel's other film, Sidonie in Japan.
Yes, it's a beautiful romantic comedy. I said it's a totally how can I say, very different of the first. So it's very interesting because if you can go to see the one and Sitting Duck and Sidonie, and you will see two different way of performance. She fight on the first, and in the second she is going just in Japan. So it's very funny. Lost in Translation. It's Isabelle Huppert Lost in Translation in Japan. So this is the kind of movie, exactly.
Okay, sounds good. Now, I'm so pleased you're screening a restoration of Marcel Carné's wonderful film, Les Enfants du Paradis. What a great film that is.
Oh, this is, I think it's thank you to speak about this movie, because you know it's my last edition, and I wanted to do a gift, and I wanted to share my passion for the cinema, and especially for this movie. Marcel Carné is for me one of the biggest director, and he made this movie in 44, and it's also a period movie, and it's just a gem. Lots of, each time I speak about this movie, and I was speaking with Hugo Weaving, and he said to me, "This is a movie that make me wanted to do cinema and to do an actor." And he saw it when he was 17, and I think it's a must. It's a must for cinema lovers, really. We are in the mid 18th century. So not just 19th century.
19.
It's in 1950. Yes, we are in Paris, and we meet some character with reality and lovers. It speak about love. It speak about theater. It speak about poetry. It's just a miracle of movie, and it's very challenging. And I'm so glad that the director of the festival gave me this chance to put this movie on the festival, because it's a two parts movie, and it's a black and white movie. So we decided to put this movie only in one features. It will be the 21st of March in all the cinema who are working with us for the festival, and it's a double features. So you arrive, you spend the first part, you leave the character, go to have a drink, eat, exchange with the people who just saw it, and you come back to the cinema, and you continue your journey with the characters. And it's incredible. It's a incredible movie, really.
It is.
I remember. Yes, it's a.
And I know it was shot, as you said, 1944, when the Nazi occupation of Paris was happening, and they obviously had to be so careful about shooting that film.
Oh yes, they start in Nice, because Nice was a free party of France, because we were occupied. We were not anymore in war. We lost the war in 41, so it was occupied by the Nazi. And I know that Marcel Carné has changed the world, the card of people who are Jewish, that they can work with them. It was a really special condition, horrible restrictive conditions, and he succeeded to emerge a cinematic miracle. It's also because on this movie, the writers the writer of the script and all the dialogue, is one of the most important one of the most important poet.
Yeah.
It's the one who wrote the song "The Autumn Leaves, Les Feuilles Mortes." It's Jacques Prévert. So just with the word on the way, all the movie, it's just a bubble of pleasure, really.
Fantastic you're screening it. It's such a great movie. Now, the opening night film and subsequent to opening night is an update, I suppose, of the Three Musketeers with D'Artagnan on opening night and later Milady. So it's interesting that Three Musketeers is a very popular theme in French cinema.
First, I think it's one of the most important book, The Three Musketeers, Alexandre Dumas. It's true. We've got so much different remake of the book, version of the book. And I remember the first I saw, it was maybe a version made in the 80s or 70s. It was very funny. It was just action. And this one is quite different. This one is more deep. I don't know if you said that in English, but it's more dark. It's a big entertainment. It's a movie you really have to see on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in two parts. And when I said to you just before, it was 72 million euros to make this movie. And the director, which is Martin Bourboulon, it's very interesting because when I start my first edition in 21, I succeed to have in world premiere Eiffel. And it was the movie of Martin Bourboulon. And this one, because he made so well Eiffel with Romain Duris, he succeeded to be the one who were making the Three Musketeers. And it's the biggest box office success of last year. It's more than 5.5 million attendees, and it's continued to growing because the first part have been presented at Christmas, so it's still growing, and we've got a all-star casting between Vincent Cassel from La Haine, Pio Marmaille. We've got also Pio Marmaille in two other movies in the festival. Romain Duris, which is one of my favorite actors, and you can see him in the remarkable movie that we've got in the festival called The Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And also because in front of them you've got very strong woman. So the first part speaks about D'Artagnan, which is played by François Civil, and the second part is more on Eva Green, who played Milady. Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting, the balance between these characters and their relationship. And yes, and what we are going to do, because if you see the first, you have to see the second one. You can see they work so well together. They have been created to work together. So we decide to do a double feature of this movie also.
Uh-huh.
It will be just a Sunday afternoon. You go there, so you start with the first, same, you can have a drink, speak about it, maybe just enjoy the moment, and after you can go to see the second one in the same time. So I love this idea that you stay for more than 1 hour with the characters and you are in immersion in the cinema. It's such a beautiful experience.
Sounds terrific and great programming. So I really like that. Now, I noticed the closing night film, another one of my favorite filmmakers is Albert Dupontel. And I noticed you're closing with the festival with Second Round with Cécile de France.
Yeah, it's also my favorite director. I think he has something very special. He's totally different from the other. He's very audacious. You don't know where you're going with him. Each time you see, it's very, very fun. And in same times, he asks you questions about our modern society, about the politics, and on this one he speaks also about the activism, etc. And it's I think it's a perfect farewell for me. It's fantastic, and you know what? It will be the farewell is the day of my birthday.
Oh no!
So it's like I give it a gift for me, and I think on this movie, like Bye Bye Mauris, I don't know if you saw Bye Bye Mauris 3 years ago.
Yes.
He plays with three characters, like
yes,
a
I
trio.
remember.
Yes, he's also playing, Albert Dupontel is also playing in the movie, and Cécile de France. And the third is the same actor that we were in by Mauris, who was playing the blind man. And it is very, very funny. It's very, very funny. And I think it's also a good critics of the media.
Ah. Very good. Sounds great. Sounds great. Now, just having a look, I notice, and I think you sort of mentioned this when we spoke earlier, Catherine Breillat is such a challenging filmmaker, and I'm so pleased she's back with a new film last summer.
Yeah. Yes, and it was 7 years. We were waiting a movie from her from 7 years. It's a long time. She didn't do anything. And as you know, in the festival, I've got almost 10 movies. I've been selected for the César, the Oscar awards. And for this movie, she is in the list for the best director, and also Lea Drucker, who is extraordinary, really extraordinary on this movie. She's also in the list for the best actress. And she's so provocateur. What she likes is to confront us to our fear, and always cross the line. So it's on this movie, and I don't want to say anything because it's a taboo breaking movie, and I don't want to speak about that with you. You have to go. But it's the one moment in the movie, Lea Drucker just switch. And I think this switch at this moment is the best performance as an actress I saw for a long time. And it's very remarkable.
Looking forward to seeing it. I mean, there's so many films I'm looking forward to seeing. It sounds terrific. And I'm also pleased to see you've got a Michel Gondry film with Pierre Nini, Book of Solutions.
The Book of Solution, yes, I think it is more intimate movie made for a long time. It speaks about the difficulty of a director to create a movie, and like Dupontel, this director, you really don't know where you're going, and it's full of fantasy. It's a craziness, and until the end, which is just. And I saw it in Cannes, and I love Pierre Nini. I think last year he was with us on for Masquerade for the opening. And on this one, he played not a seductor like in Masquerade. It's the opposite. He's a director who's lost, and it's very fun. It's full of fantasy. And you know, he said that it was his process of creation of movie. So you really see the process of creation, crazy one, of a director. It's a very good comedy.
Looking forward to it, especially as a film about filmmaking. It sounds terrific. And I notice a very strong drama is in the festival. I mean, there's a number of dramas. A Silence with Daniel Auteuil.
Oh, it's a drama. It's a thriller too. So I don't want to say anything about the story because you have to see it. Daniel Auteuil is very appreciated in Australia, and I saw last year with a movie where he was. Each time I've got a movie with Daniel Auteuil, people come, and I really appreciate because for me it's for one of the biggest actors we've got, and he's playing with Emmanuel DeVos, and we play a wife, and in the thing I can say about this movie, it's inspired by a true story, true events we have shocked the Europe. So it's and it's quite remarkable how the director Labos made this movie, because you don't understand what's going on until the end, and you don't know who have done what. So I love to be just taken by a movie like this, you know.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Okay, we've only got a few minutes. I know you've got another meeting shortly. I'm pleased to see you've got a family movie and you've got an animation as well, but Snow Must Go On. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, this is a very interesting movie because I choose it and I ask people to try to find a distributor for this movie. And it's a movie that we bought for the festival. And I'm always looking for movies for kids and family, because I think it's so important to bring the young people to the cinema for the
Yeah.
experience, because they only see movies on their telephone, on your screen, but it's not like the experience to be in a room with different people and feel the sensation, the feeling of the other, and it's completely different. So we choose Nina Superstar for about a dancer, Princess of the Desert about a young boy and in the Sahara, and also these two Arctic Foxes, which is more for the young people who try to survive in the north of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, The Snow Must Go Home, placed in the Mont Blanc, and it's very, very fantastic story about students who are not very academic and not on the top. We try to save the glacier, the ice. We start to disappear because of the climate change. And I saw this movie with my daughter. She's older. She's 19, but she reacts very strongly and said it's great. And she take away all the plastic and she wants to do things. So it's important also in the cinema to bring the new generation and show them something that speak to them and can be also a good example. For example, we've got another movie called Divertimento, and I really wanted to have this movie on the festival because it speak about the story of this incredible conductor, female conductor. And when she was 22, she was with the best conductor of the world, and he said to her, "My lady, you're a girl, you're 21, you Arabic heritage, you're living in a outside of Paris, you will never have your own symphonic orchestra." And she decided to create, and she succeeded to create at 22 her own symphonic orchestra, who's still alive, and she will be there 25 years after in Sydney, in Australia, in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, to present the movie and speak also to the young generations and said, dream large. If people said you can't, don't listen. Create your own way and your own thing. So it's very inspiring, and so I'm very pleased to have this movie.
Excellent stuff. I mean, we can keep on talking forever because there's more good films, but we might need to leave it at that. But Karine, I just want to ask you one final thing.
Can I just,
yeah, go on.
Just one. We've got a special night with our cousin, the Canadian, the French people from Canada. And I've got this movie just incredible and really have to go to see it. It's called A Nature of Love. And I was laughing so much. And it's so good to listen also Canadian talk. It's quite different of the French. And it's, I recommend this one. And there are little one I want to speak before we stop. It's Ama Gloria. I saw in Cannes. It's a vibrant drama. We speak about drama, but it's a 6-year-old French girl who wants to spend a last summer with a nanny before she left. And she only knew this nanny as a mother. It's so beautiful. I don't know where I come from, this actress of 6 years. She's totally incredible. And I know that there are no big casting. It's looked like a small movie. People won't be maybe interested, but you have to go because it's full of poetry. I cry. It's just a pure gem. Ama Gloria.
Love it. Great recommendations. Karine, just before I let you go, what's next for you?
Oh, sleep. No, next for me will be, you know what? I can tell you, I fell in love with Australia. I'm also in love with an Australian man. So it's so my heart belongs to Australia. So I think I will finish my mission in August, and I will try to stay in Australia and continue to create bridge between Australia and France.
Sounds excellent. We've been speaking to Karine Mauris, who's the artistic director of the 35th Alliance Francaise French Film Festival in Palace Cinemas across Australia, March 6th to April the 2nd. Karine, as always, a pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to miss you. Maybe we will see it again. We don't know what could be the future.
You never know. You never know. Thank you so much, Karine.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci. Bye-bye.